Hello and welcome to this section. In this section, we are going to be working on JavaScript conditional operations. The conditional operations are code structures that allows you to test if an expression returns true or false. They are used to perform different actions based on different conditions. So we have the if statement, we have the else statement, and also we have the else if statement. The if statement specifies a block of code to be executed provided a specified condition is true. So that's how it works for the if statement. We're going to be having an illustration on this soon. The else statement also specifies a block of code to be executed provided a specified condition is false in the if block. So the else statement requires the if block to be executed. So the moment the condition on the if block is false, the else statement will be executed. Now the else if specifies a block of code to execute other conditions that will be passed into that particular block. So you have the first condition that will be tested in the if statement, then you have other conditions that you want to be you want also to test that comes in the else if. So right now let's start off with an illustration. So what we are going to do, firstly, we're going to come down to our file and open a new file. So we have condition, that's conditional.js. Okay, so let's go to our index file and change the array directory to condition.js. Okay, we're good to go. So let's come back to the conditional file. Alright, firstly let's declare a variable. So we have let's what name should we give it? Okay, let x let's give it x equals, we are assigning 7 to x. Okay, then here we have if, so if x is equals to 7, execute. So we're going to use a console.log execute lucky 7. Let's put an exclamation there. We'll put a semicolon there. Okay, so we have here the declared variable. So we are going to be testing. So we use a if. Now this is the condition if x is equals to 7. So the condition says if x is equals to 7, execute this statement lucky 7. So the moment this condition is tested, obviously x is equals to 7, the if statement requires that the condition should be true for this to be executed. So we have what we have. So we have here lucky 7. If peradventure we just use greater than, greater than, what's going on, we use x is greater than 7. Obviously x is not greater than 7. So what do we have here? We have nothing, because the condition is a false condition. So this if block will only execute the statement when the condition is true. So let's go back to what we have there. So once the condition is true, then it executes the statement we have here. So let's move on to else. So let's say we have else console.log you are not a lucky 7. All right, so that's it. Also, for instance, we change this to 10. Okay, so the moment this condition is tested, so we have if x equals to 7, is x equals to 7, x is now 10, so x is not equal to 7, so it goes down and check if there's an alternative statement that is here. So we have else. Now the else will be tested, and the moment the condition says false, it goes down and executes the else statement. So that's how the else statement works. It executes the condition if it's false in the if block. So if the if block says false, it executes the statement that we have here. So you are not a lucky 7. So that's what we have here. All right, let's move on to the last thing we have for this section, else if. So in the case you have other conditions that you feel that can be tested. So we have x equals to 8. So what do we have here? Console.log. We have, obviously we have lucky 8. We have lucky 8. So forget to put semicolon at the end of the expression. So we have else if so we have console.log. What's going on? Console.log. We have oh sorry, I made a mistake. I didn't put the condition. What does the condition says? X equals to 9. So obviously we have lucky 9. All right, so we have here the if, we have the else if, and we have the other else if here. So what really happens here, if the condition on the if block is false, it goes to the second condition, which is the else if. It goes and tests this. If it's true, it executes the statement that is there, but if it's false, it goes down to the next block and tests it again. If it's true, it executes the statement there, but if it's false, it's come down to the else to execute it. So let's try and change what we have here to 8. Okay, so we have the first block, that's the first if, says x is equals to 7. Obviously we know x is not equals to 7, so that's a false. Then it jumps to the next block and tests if this is true. So we have x is equals to 8. Obviously x is equals to 8. Then it executes the statement of the second block. Then the moment it executes the statement, the operation ends. The operation ends the moment it tests the condition to be true in this particular operation. So it ends there. So it doesn't test any other condition again the moment it sees a true condition and is executed. So if I come down here and I change this to 9, so you see that it changes to lucky 9. So it tests the first if is tested, the condition is tested, it comes to the next one, it moves to the next condition and test it. Is not x is not equal to 8, so it moves to the third one, then it tests it and it sees that, oh yes, this condition tallies with what I have, is true, then it executes it, and the moment you execute that statement, the operation ends there. So that's all you need to know about the if, the else if, and the else statement. So just a basic illustration about how this conditional operation works. So we use this if, else, if basically in in everything you have to do in programming. You can't do programming without the conditional operation. So I believe you've gotten a few of what we have to do in this section. In our next section, we are going to be working more on what we have in our JavaScript course. Thank you, and see you in our next section.